Hello everyone, it's August 11th. I made my last video about a week ago, even though I just posted it. But a lot has happened since I last posted, so let me show you. We're getting a lot of things coming in now. My flowers are coming in, so those look pretty good actually. I need to plant some seeds. It looks like some seeds on the bottom down there didn't take. So I'll need to try a different flower, but the other two are coming in real nicely. We're getting a ton of chili peppers. We're just waiting for those to turn red and they will be ready. We're getting a ton of chili peppers. That plant has some blooms on it, but we're also getting, it's hard to see, there's some habaneros coming in, which is good news. I love hot peppers. So those are coming in. These are our beans. Our beans are not quite coming in yet. I am seeing some evidence that there is some beans trying to hopefully come in soon. We're gonna see. I thought I've seen a couple like that one, like they're trying to come in. There's flowers everywhere, so we're just waiting on those. These are the onions. Some of them are actually looking pretty decent, but I don't know if they're really gonna get big. I got some suggestions from people about what to do with onions, and I'm definitely gonna take up and consider all those suggestions that I got, because at this point anything will work, but I need to look at to see if it's really kind of too late to really implement any of that and just maybe try next year again. Candy cane peppers are coming in. They're starting to change colors a little bit. Those look good. And these we're getting a lot of tomatoes out here, so that's pretty exciting. Our squash plant, I cut off a lot of this the other day because of powdery mildew, and it has since, kind of in a way, I'm gonna have to cut off some more. We'll just keep fighting this powdery mildew. It has since, in a way, we are starting to see a lot of blooms. There's a squash down there. Actually, I think he's ready to be picked. There's a couple squash down here. So let me see here. I'm actually going to pick that one. So it's pretty good. We've gotten several squash from this plant, and there's several growing. And I'm telling you, I cut off all this and we came out here and there was so much gone. And Jay, he was all like, "Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? It doesn't look good." I told him not to worry about it, because you need to cut off anything diseased or dead or not functioning or working for the plant, and it'll be well worth it. And we're getting a lot more squash off this, and we've already gotten several rounds of squash, and now we're getting a lot more. This plant has got baby watermelons. There's several. There's one over there too. Here's another one. We're getting all kinds of little watermelons. I'm not a fan of watermelon, but they love watermelon. And actually, there's another watermelon. Look at that. Wow. Like I said, I need to get in here and we need to cut all this out. This is not being productive. Whatever's going on there. I ordered some seeds and I'm going to plant them next year. And they're yellow and orange watermelon instead of the traditional pink. So we're going to grow different kinds of watermelon next year. This was an experimental, and we wanted to see how well the beds would work and what would grow, what would not grow. We seem to be doing pretty good with runners. This is kind of our runner bed. Cucumber, squash. Oh, look at him. I think I'm going to leave him on there for one more day. or two. I don't see any stretch marks coming off of him, and he looks like he might be able to grow just a little bit more. But our runner bed, minus the whole issue with powdery mildew, has actually done really good. This one obviously is not going to make it. We had a zucchini plant over here that also died, but then we've got this big fella here. He's coming in pretty strong. Let's see. This is our beans. Same thing. Not really coming in. I'm just really kind of trying to be patient with that and see what happens. We've always had beans come in, so never really had issues, but we actually planted really late, so we're behind a lot of people for that reason. Look at this little guy. He's all orange. Of course, he's that faux ladybug, the ones that eat stuff. But interesting, I've never seen one with an orange head, like that's all orange. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, I have seen some pea pods, really small one, on this. So we're not going to be planting peas with beans next year. We're going to probably do a separate bed and trellis them also. We just put this trellis in not too long ago. We had a smaller trellis. These got big and it's already taking over. Our broccoli, we harvested the broccoli because it was ready to go. Actually might be a little too ready, so we'll find out. But yeah, we harvested broccoli. It was time to go, so I'm going to pull these plants up and maybe consider planting something else there using the time. The lettuce is definitely ready to be harvested. I'm going to cut down to about 2 inches left, so that way we can keep getting more lettuce. But I'm going to come out here, we're going to cut that down. Tomatoes. Everywhere we have tomatoes. Honestly, this is my first year of actually actively gardening. Typically in the past, I've just processed food because I hated coming out here and dealing with all of this. So to see, we could have done a little bit more work with some of these tomatoes, really caging them sooner. We've tried to figure out several methods. We kind of just let them, we don't try to manipulate them. As you can see, it's coming into the field here, or the pathway. The sunflower is taller than me now. We're getting a ton of cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, all the tomatoes. This thing is getting huge. I mean, when you look at it, it's filling my hand. We're just waiting for that to turn over. But as you can see, we're getting a ton of tomatoes. And this is, like I said, for my first year gardening and really kind of watching a lot of YouTube and reading and learning a lot. It's been kind of an experience. And to see all this stuff come in, it's actually pretty exciting. The fruits of your labor produces fruit, so long as you work hard. We've got all kinds of tomatoes over there. Those coming in. Look at these. All those. We've got there are some pepper plants down in there. And I'm gonna have to get those tomatoes because they are laying on the ground. So I will be getting those up here shortly. Shallots are doing good. I don't know why I keep calling these scallions. I might have done that on my last video, but they're shallots. Peppers, as you can see, they're getting big. Those are supposed to be red, the big red tomato or peppers, so that's doing good. See, there's peppers over there, and there's peppers throughout the middle there. It's just harder to video and it's kind of dark. Getting some poblanos in. like I said, we eat a ton of peppers. So I've honestly never seen pepper plants this tall in my life. I didn't know they could get this tall. When we did ground gardening, we never got the explosion on tomatoes. We never got, there's the Carolina Reaper. We never got explosion on tomatoes. Our pepper plants were kind of small. But these are probably ready to be picked. That big one, these, and that was kind of hard to see. Those are ready to be picked. What is that? Oh, that's a habanero. So we also have habaneros here next to our Carolina Reaper. So that's looking good. This is our okra bed. I have some more root bags, but one of them is an experiment. I gotta get some more stuff to fill that. But this is our lettuce over here. It's about time to harvest some of that here soon too. We got different kinds of lettuce. I have no idea what kind. Like I said, this was kind of disorganized to begin with. Carrots are coming in. Our okra plants are looking good. Here we got this little, oops, dropped my glove. We got this, look at this flower. I don't think I've ever seen this before on an okra plant. How cool is that? There is this beautiful flower on this okra plant. Like, what the? That's a nice little surprise. I accidentally managed to grow a flower too. Okay, sure, I'll take it. I'll get this little guy. But yeah, see, we're trying these okra out. We've never done this before. I like trying out kind of newer vegetables. Like I have a lot of purple vegetables I'll be planting next year. We'd also like to plant potatoes, but we're gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to cut that leaf. But we've actually harvested quite a bit of okra, so that's why there's not a lot on the video. Really, these purple ones are producing really well. But we harvested quite a bit, so once we get some more in, I should have brought my pruners out here and I forgot. This we planted lilies in, but I don't think they've come in yet. This is an experimental bed. We have shallots in here as well, but I had some onions in the house that were doing this, and I kind of just wanted to see, hey, what the heck's going on there? Can we do something with it? So we'll see. If we lose them, we lose them. If they do something, great. But I'm not going to sit here and worry about it because it was just an experiment. Well, now this is interesting. Look at that. What in the world? That's crazy. But this is our corn and beans. Like I said, our beans seem to not be, I don't know what's going on this year. They're probably going to come in and it's going to be all of a sudden, boom, there's going to be so many beans, we don't know what to do with them. But look at this. These dang Japanese beetles. They're just like all over the place, one on top of the freaking other. Isn't that nice? That's what we contend with most of the time in the garden, are Japanese beetles, and there's what eating our stuff. And this thing, oh my goodness. I think this is the yarrow, and it is coming in. When I got this plant, it had the hardest time standing up. Like, it was just leaning over, and no matter what I did, it was having a hard time standing up. And that, I need to cut off some of the dead growth. But this is pretty neat. I also was not great at growing flowers. I've only done succulents and cactus because they don't require a lot of attention. But this garden has required a lot of attention because of all the flowers and veggies. So plants everywhere, growing everywhere. I like them when they grow into the paths. Kind of neat. I need to get out here and weed the pathway. I try to keep that clean. It's been about a week since we weeded the beds, so they all need to be weeded, which might be part of the problem with the beans. And we have not had any gladiolus that have bloomed, but this one appears that it's finally going to start blooming. And like I said, we planted a lot of these in the corners of the beds just so we could have some companion flowers. Well, they're actually all starting to have this top. I didn't see this. I get so excited about one thing and forget the flowers too. These were the cheapest and easiest things. Throw in the corners of the garden or each of the beds. Some of them came up, some of them didn't come up, some of them were being smothered by other plants or stifled. But like this one hasn't quite come up yet, but that one is. And we just wanted to create a garden where there was a lot of like that sunflower. I'll definitely be growing those again. That's pretty cool. Where you could bring in the pollinator. I wanted to bring in the pollinator animals, so they can help, you know, pollinate, whatever they do. So we can get them pollinating everything and make it a friendly environment for them. However, seems like we get more Japanese beetles than anything else. So I'm going to have to look into figuring out what is going on there. But anyway, aside from that, we still have to plant our trees. We've been so busy processing apples. We've processed 30 pounds of apples so far. And we have about, probably, I'd say, anywhere from 15 to 30 more pounds to process. So, and it's been raining a lot. Or we just haven't been home. So we need to plant the trees. We got all the stuff ready to plant trees, and we got to plant those, and we're going to actually buy probably 2 more trees. And like I said, we want to try to create kind of a food forest. We're really trying to take what the gifts and, oh, look at that, the gifts and the skills and abilities that God gives us and really use it for His glory. And what better way than to grow beautiful food, make his creation, you know, make it beautiful. And He is blessing us abundantly. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever actually been very active in gardening from start to finish, meaning from building the beds, putting the topsoil in, putting down all this mulch. Of course, I had help with that. We have pretty much equally have been doing stuff, but and then just really caring and tending to things and all the things I've learned. This is my first really year gardening, so I feel this is pretty kind of cool, like, to get out there and do it and try. I mean, if I can garden, anybody can garden. So this has been a labor of love, and I'm just really enjoying it right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. This is an update for August 10th. You know, I'm going to try to do a video every week at least, so we could see the progress. I need to watch this. I should have been doing this from day one, from when it was like barren, just a plot of dirt, to what we've done, but I didn't really think about it. But then when things started growing in, I'm like, you know, this would be really cool to document, because this is getting to be crazy watching everything come in. But these sunflower, man. So, all right, I'm gonna leave this here and sign off. And Eddie the Eagle back there wants to wish everybody a blessed Thursday. I think it's Thursday. Yes, a blessed Thursday today, as he continues to watch over the garden. All right, guys, have a good day.